Are video game characters too sexy? Look, just to answer that already, there is no such thing as too sexy. You could always strive for more.
Do you like hot men?
Yes.
Do you like attractive women with big hands?
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? This is the Sexy Man here, and today I'm bringing you my top 10 list of video game characters that I jerk off to. Number 10, Urgot.
Ayo. Hear me out, guys. Urgot's kind of a daddy.
Number 9, Uncle Lumbago. Lately, there's been a lot of buzz surrounding the upcoming game Stellar Blade and its protagonist Eve. Many gamers are celebrating.
This game looks so good. I am so sad that it's only coming out on PS5. I really wanted to play it. I do hope maybe, I don't know if it's exclusive, no clue. I hope one day it comes out on PC. The game looks really good.
Her provocative design, the exotic outfit she wears, and as a red-blooded male, I can appreciate this as well. Now, I played the demo, it was pretty fun, and I think Stellar Blade is shaping up to be a stellar game. On the flip side, some folk claim this type of character design is harmful because it objectifies women and displays unrealistic body standards and proportions. Now, we could ignore the fact that
is not even, like, unrealistic. This one is based off a real person, actually.
Design was based off
like,
of a real
it's
human
not
being,
like
and that's exactly
it's just
what we're
a hot
going to
woman,
do, because
you know?
complaining on the internet makes me feel better than ordering the salad. But on the real, there is something to say about body standards in media, sexualization in video games, and how it can affect us. It feels kind of dumb to say this, but there is an ongoing debate around how hot video game characters should be. If you make a character too sexy, then it's misogynistic.
Hey, yo,
but if you don't make every female a supermodel with double D honkers, then your game's woke.
Oh, this one is me or Sony be making their lead female protagonist look masculine as hell. Barely no curves or rough non-feminine features, unlike the average woman, like cough cough, Tilos, two Ellies, etc. I don't understand why people complain about The Last of Us girl. She actually just looks like a regular girl. Just saying, hashtag my 2 cents. Pick from the game on the left, fan made on the right. Higher fans. The funny thing about this one, the left one is just a bad screenshot, isn't it? She is not really like that, I feel like. I didn't play that game. And on the right side, she just has really a lot of makeup there. They didn't change her features, they just put a bunch of makeup there. At the end of the day, I feel like all these explanations for the character shouldn't be like this. At the end of the day, it's a video game, you know, they can look whatever. It's not real. You know, I don't want to play a video game to look at people that look like people that I see outside. I'm playing video games for a reason. If it's especially the character I'm playing as, I want them to look nice. No one wants to look at an ugly character, right? This doesn't just happen to female characters. Can we remember the fucking Witcher 3 MC? That guy is like a fucking giga chat, and I think right at the start of the game you had a scene where he's bathing, isn't there? You have a scene where he is bathing and there's like a big fucking zoom on his feet. And you know what? I'm pretty sure no one complained about that. Also, all the HSR sexy men. Yeah. I think everyone should look hot. That's how usually is, to be fair. Everyone looks hot. That's what the people want. If they are not hot, they are usually like some fucking weird monster thing that, you know what? They know what they're doing. It's because they are the people who are into that. They surely know what they're doing. Everything is hot to someone. The furry lion on AFK journey? Some people are really into that. Hey, look, Pepino Spaghetti is the ugliest middle-aged motherfucker ever, but I love him. He's my ugly Italian disgusting man. But you have a good point there, Lucas. Pizza Tower has a really ugly MC. But I feel like that's the game, like the whole game is like ugly fucked up cartoon, right? I think it fits really good there. I like it. Overwatch had people complain that Tracer's ass was too prominent. It's ass. Stop complaining about ass. Exactly. All ass is good ass, guys. Small, big, they're all good.
How are you supposed to win? Well, today that's what we're talking about. Sex appeal in video games. When is it good? When is it bad? How do you tell the difference?
Never bad.
Let's find out. Why are games marketed like Stellar Blade? Why are video games now filled with soft porn heroines with...
What? Soft porn heroines with ridiculously large breasts? Bro, that's Street Fighter. What's wrong with it? That's no, how is that soft porn? I feel like these people never actually watch soft porn. There is no way.
Ridiculously large breasts? Why? Because fellas like big titty bitches. Next article, write some real fucking news.
Everyone does.
Right.
Shakespeare couldn't have said it better himself. I mean, that's about it. For a long time, gaming was a male-dominated hobby, so naturally, developers made games that appealed to men. This was much more apparent in the olden days where publishers had to rely on the box art to grab your attention. This certainly...
Hey, yo! What's the X-Men video game? I'm interested. There's a lot going on there. Also, to be fair, I always make any customizable characters to be the ugliest weird fucker around. Okay, I feel like there's like 3 kinds of people, right? When you're making a character in a game. You either make like a super hot character, maybe like either what you want to be or what you find attractive in like the gender you like, right? Or you make something that's close to yourself, or you just make the fucking ugliest thing you can imagine in the world.
It grabs my attention. Hey, how's that new pinball game coming along? You know, Microsoft needs it out for the Xbox by May. Well, boss, it's looking great. But to be honest, pinball on console is a hard sell. It's kind of boring. So how can we spice it up? Fuck it, like this? Throw some chicks with guns and...
What's your waifu, guys? I personally am more of this soldier girl here. I really like this one. The teams are fucking everywhere. There's like an army girl, a cowboy, a racer, and what is this? In a fantasy one. I think there's a Seren Kagura pinball game, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure that is a thing. There is a big booby waifu pinball game on Steam.
Swords on it. American Pinball Reborn. Rated E for everyone. This might come as a shock to some of you, so brace yourselves. Sex sells in every industry.
I don't believe it!
The same rules that apply to Hollywood and movie stars apply to gaming. People like things that are attractive.
True.
They had goddesses stand around and look pretty for the midniit release of Halo
That's
3.
true.
Blizzard paid Megan Fox to promote Diablo 4, and that was the best thing that came out of Diablo 4.
They still do this, I believe, right? Last time that I was in a GameCon, you had models at some booths, just showcasing stuff. They still do that. I'm like, that's fair. The majority of people there are men. They're gonna go, ooh. Why am I gonna go to the other booth if this one has big booby ladies? I'm gonna ask for a picture of the big booby ladies.
The developers of a game called Sin Episodes Emergence hired a porn star to cosplay as one of their characters.
That dude's face here is having some thoughts.
Nice.
Nice.
Sex appeal is an easy way to get the attention of men. But that's nothing new to video games. It wasn't new when Lara Croft debuted with her pyramid breasts. And it's not new with Eve and her ridiculous ponytail. But what has
The ponytail is a pretty good design choice there. I like it.
changed is the industry. It's much more complex and diverse now. There are more female gamers than ever before.
Women accounted for nearly 41% of all gamers in the US. 41! Meanwhile, in Asia, where 48% of the world's total gaming revenue takes place, women now make up 40 to 45% of its gaming population. Damn, that is a lot.
than ever before. So how do we sell games to them? Maybe we could push out more dishwashing and cooking simulators?
Look, I think we should have more chores simulator games. I personally really like them. I am sorry for all the women that try to be like, well, I am a real gamer and whatever. I really like dishwashing cooking simulator game. Like, Power Wash seems such a good game. I want more shit like that. I don't want to do my chores in real life, but I really like doing them in games. Do more of these. I'll buy them. I'll buy all of them.
Perhaps we could sexualize women less, portray them in a more realistic, less idealized
No,
way.
who wants that?
No. No, man. Shit, no, man. I believe you
Nobody
get your ass
wants
kicked
to
saying something
see
like that, man.
this.
But I think a better solution is to
True.
sexualize men
I agree.
more. Picture this, Ace Attorney 7 drops, and the second case takes place on a beach. This is nothing more than an excuse for BAM!
Hey,
Miles-
yo! Now that's what the people want. I am people. I want this. I played Ace Attorney. This was one of my first video games that I got really into, and I was such a dirty fujoshi at the time. You bet your ass that I saw so much stuff with Edgeworth and Phoenix. That was such a good ship.
Edgeworth. Watch the fangirls go crazy. Instant 1 million copies sold within 24
I
hours.
want it.
Capcom, you
I
can
want
send
this.
me the royalty checks. But seriously, if there is a major issue around objectifying women in video
She's so
games,
cute.
I say go ahead and objectify men too. It's not like we can
So
change
true.
the fact that sex sells and companies are going to use it to sell products. So why not level the playing field a bit? Hot, ripped, muscly men like me, which way to the beach, appeal to women just as much as they do to gay guys. League of Legends has just as many sexy
So
dudes as it does
true.
chicks. I mean, just
Actually, League is a very good example. Look, League appeals to everyone. You want hot girls, they have hot girls. You want hot guys, they have hot guys. You want hot furries, they have hot furries. You know, that is the true equal game. They go for everyone they can.
case in point. There's a tendency
Yo,
for
Brown's
websites
kind of a
such
daddy.
as Kotaku to post articles like Baldur's Gate 3 slyly adds jiggle physics for dicks.
What? Baldur's Gate 3 slyly adds jiggle physics for dicks balls. Baldur's Gate 3 has everything. Polyamory, bare fucking blood sacrifice. I demand to see Ouro's dick and balls. What? Why do you want to see dick and balls in Street Fighter? Tears of the Kingdom fans think they see Link's well-endowed package. Oh, okay.
Balls. They will celebrate when men are sexualized, but not women. If you ask me, that's a little sexist, Kotaku. Lost Ark's depiction of female characters feels a decade out of place.
I remember when people were complaining about Lost Ark. I've never seen any issue with Lost Ark. They were normal. Street Fighter V's ridiculous breast physics are still in the game. Controversial Steam bestseller Ready or Not is an unsettling SWAT fantasy. Never heard of that. Let's see how long it takes Seiran Kagura to make you uncomfortable. That's a funny title. E3, Soul Calibur's objectified woman felt like a relic of the past. Oh, come on. You don't have to run the exclusive review for the War Crime game? I don't understand this one. How Stellar Blade become 2024's most controversial game? Wait, are you serious? That became the most controversial game by having a hot woman on it? That's absurd.
If you're fine with people thirsting over those shirtless Leon Kennedy mods, or the mods where Chris
True.
Redfield
Wait,
is
what?
just fucking naked for the entirety of Village, then you should...
What? That is such a funny idea that some people go, yes, I want to play as this character but naked. No clothes, naked. I want to see his donger out there while I'm playing. Now that is a funny thought. To be fair, I think there's definitely some valid complaints that there are definitely men out there who can separate fantasy and reality, and game fan service actually induces brain rot to them, but I think that's less of a problem of the game, probably more to the environment growing up. Yeah, I agree, Chitel, Lucas. I think, like, are there people that have issues separating fantasy and reality? There sure is, but then it becomes a whole, like, societal issue, right? I don't think video games are at fault. Because if you're not looking at video games, you're looking at movies. No actor looks like a regular person you're gonna see outside. You know, actors, actresses, they're also all like fucking hot because it's their job. They have to look attractive. So people are interested in watching it, right? Like music, especially if you go to stuff like pop singers, they also have to look attractive because that sells. Like, have you seen K-pop groups? Imagine a K-pop group where everyone was ugly, guys. Where everyone like looked like your neighbor. Nobody would want that. They can sing and dance as good as they want. If they look like your fucking neighbor, people are not gonna be interested in it. That's just how stuff works. The issue is so much bigger than just games, right? Like, some stuff is a little ridiculous, like the naked mod. I'm a little concerned for your sanity for playing that, but you know, if it makes you happy, you do you.
Also be fine with people thirsting over Lady Dimitrescu.
So
now, to clarify,
true.
there is a big difference between what a developer makes and what their audience makes.
Yeah,
of it.
exactly,
Just ask
exactly.
Jeff Kaplan. But if we held developers...
Wait. Is that what I think it is, guys? Is that the dude that makes the Overwatch stuff? If it is, that guy is doing like God's service there. Look, the dude that makes the Overwatch stuff for sussy websites, they are making more for Overwatch than Blizzard ever did in all their career. That's all I'm gonna say about it. They are the ones keeping the game alive. Let's be real. Nobody cares about actual Overwatch anymore. The sussy stuff though.
responsible for the actions and words of their community, well, the Call of Duty devs would be on trial for crimes against humanity. So this doesn't apply to
what
like
have they done?
multiplayer voice
I actually
chat
don't know
stuff.
about that.
But what, if anything, is wrong with
okay, I'm just...
Stellar Blade in particular? Let's check out some articles and see if we can find the answer. IGN France posted a review of the demo, saying mostly positive things about it. However, there was one paragraph people really took issue with. The design of the game, particularly its characters, highlights an obvious bias, and the result is not really a success. It's not new, and other games have chosen to highlight the strengths of their female characters. But where a Bayonetta stands out with an iconic character design, or a 2B inspires an entire generation of cosplayers, Eve from Stellar Blade is just bland. A doll sexualized by someone you would think has never seen a woman.
Okay, so they're saying, I don't get it. I just have such a hard time getting it. Why are they saying that Bayonetta and 2B are fine, but then this new character is not? I legit can see the difference. Is it because it's not iconic enough? Does it have to be iconic? 2B has a big ass because the creator likes big asses. Your point is moot L plus ratio. Yeah, and you know what? I like big asses too.
Is that a woman? Jesus.
There's a lot of problems with
Jesus.
this. First off, Eve isn't even sexualized within the context of the game or the events of the demo.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't flirt with anyone. She's not pushing her tits together, leaning over, asking for a ride. She never says like, who wants to have sex with me? It's not even a factor at all. Like, bro, if you want to complain about hypersexualized characters, go play Soul Calibur.
I heard a
okay?
lot of stuff
Hop
about
into the
that
character
one.
creator, and you can make your tits super huge. Also, the demo
Nice.
is like an hour long with about 15 minutes of cutscenes. That's not enough time to give like a detailed character assessment or review. So a lot of people are complaining about Stellar Blade at the moment based on assumptions.
Bruh.
What they think the game is going to be like when
Like, if you look like here, yeah, sure, she is. She sure has like some nice assets, if you get me. Wink, wink. It's not like fucking ridiculous. It's like, yeah, is it big? Yeah, it's big. Yeah, that's fine. That's cool. The people that wrote this, they never went into like an H, place and put the tag like big S there. Then they're gonna see what's unrealistic as looks like. If these people read Dojin, they would understand what like really unrealistic body types are.
Actually comes out. Comparing Eve to Bayonetta in 2B isn't fair at all because those are characters that have been around for a long time.
And like, you see how Bayonetta is. How can you say that Bayonetta's fine but the other one isn't?
And they appear in
She
games
literally
that
has,
are
like, so many
completed
butt
and have been
shots.
released to the public. Let's try another article though. Developer of Stellar Blade fails to recognize the game's sexism. This was posted before the demo came out. So
Bruh.
just based on the 6-minute showcase, there is something striking when you look closely at the images of this aesthetically successful action
Nice.
game. The heroine is ultra sexy. In less than 6 minutes, we see her wearing outfits, each more improbable than the last. The message is clear. The shorter, the more skin visible, the better. Now, I'm not sure what trailer you watched, but there's like maybe
What?
9 seconds of footage where Eve's thighs are partially exposed, but
Ayo?
besides that, it's just her arms. Like, where is this explicit, overt sexualization that I seem to be missing? Is every woman in tights supposed to be a
Yeah,
sex object?
exactly.
However, we are
That's how it ends up looking like, right? Like how you had like those people getting super mad at Genshin because a character had a little bit of her belly visible. Like, come on, dude. it's not like that. The ones who write this either never seen a woman or believes women should be fully clothed like a mummy. Yeah, exactly. Like, come on, bruh. Different times. However, we are talking about a character responsible for getting rid of an enemy threat in a post-apocalyptic context. Like, what's the issue? Should we dress ugly because we are fighting enemies? Is that the thing? I understand this kind of logic when it's like armor, right? When you see and like you can have a male character and a female character, and the male character you start getting stronger armor and the guy just keeps getting bigger and bigger because he like fully covered, right? And then you get the same equipment for the female character and it's like boob plates. Like, that is dumb. I agree with that in that case. It is a little dumb. But in this case, you don't have that. You don't have the comparison. She's not wearing armor. As someone said, she's an android. She probably doesn't need it. You know what's a fantastic example of this? Look up the kid in armor for Monster Hunter World. Both of those armors are revealing, going against the usual idea of less armor for women. Yeah, that is nice, Super. That is nice. Like, do I say that the like MMO armor for women is a bit dumb? I do say that, but at the end of the day, I personally prefer that than if my character was fully covered in armor, you know? I think usually I just like the idea of having like skins for the equipment you're using, so you use whatever you prefer, you know? If you like your woman fully in armor, I know a lot of people that think that's super badass. Like, that's totally fine. If I want to play with a character wearing a bikini though, I don't think there should be a problem. I like that.
talking about a character responsible for getting rid of an enemy threat in a post-apocalyptic context. So the old "her outfit isn't practical or realistic" argument sometimes has merit.
Wyatt's outfit was not practical at all. Metal Gear Solid 5 actress comments on controversial character. Yeah, like in Stellar Blade's case, it's a very tight thing. So like, that's good for moving around, you know? That is actually ideal for moving around.
Merit. But I don't think it
Like,
does
look
with
at
Stellar
this.
Blade
This is
or
good.
Bayonetta. Neither game is going for a realistic setting. Like, if Call of Duty had established itself as a grounded
Also
military
that,
shooter and then
yeah.
got rid of military factions and threw Nicki Minaj in as a playable character, that would be pretty fucking cringe, wouldn't it?
What's that? What the fuck is this? Wait! This Does that actually exist? I never heard about that. That is so fucking funny. You know how I like my shooters? I like my shooters like Nikki. All wearing cute outfits and with a lot of boing boing boing.
Bayonetta is a witch and Eve is an ODST that stole Tracer's spandex. As long as they don't look stupid and they fit within the universe, I don't see either as a problem. Leggings so close to the body that it feels like a second skin. This guy has more problems with the tights industry than he does with the game. That's what leggings are.
I was gonna say, that's insane. There's no leggings that are not tight. I'm sorry. They are all ultra tight because that's how they work. And they allow you to move better. There's a reason people wear those to work out. People wear those to do yoga.
She has a nice bod and plenty of outfits to customize. Gamers like customizing and playing
dress. She has some like pretty, how can I even put this? Like quote unquote well-behaved clothing. Like this one is very like
bod
sexy.
And plenty of outfits
that's fine.
to
But like look at this one. This one's fine. Nothing wrong with it. She's literally wearing jeans. Is it ripped a little bit on the side? Yeah, it is, but that's normal. If it was like something ugly and bad taste just for the sake of being sexy, then in that case, I'm a little like, But like, these look nice. Are they sexy? Do they have a lot of skin? This one even doesn't have that much skin. They're nice. They look good. They're like good taste, you know?
Gamers like customizing and playing dress up. Bayonetta is arguably more sexualized, but she's considered a paragon of female representation and strong female characters. So again, what is the actual problem? The character is simply too sexy, man. That's the issue. It's difficult not to see a sexualization of women, a practice which tended to disappear in the latest video game productions. Did you forget what won Game of the Year in 2023?
What I like the most is that every companion is so extremely fuckable. I wanna fuck all of them. I do not only wanna fuck all of them, I wanna be with them forever, for the rest of my life.
Sanest gacha player.
However, this choice is 100% assumed by the developer, with arguments that are beyond belief. The director of Stellar Blade attempted to justify the project's irredeemably sexy argument.
Wait, what? Starting with this permanent highlighting of Eve's buttocks. In terms of design, we focus on the back of the characters because players are always facing him when playing. That's what they see the most, so it's very important. It's true! I didn't know that a character's charisma first measured by the perfection of their posterior. This recalls Hideo Kojima's lunar apology for quiet in Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. Doesn't Snake also has a really nice butt? Guys, I never played Metal Gear, but I feel like I've seen Snake's butts in places. No. You're just looking at one side of it. Everyone has nice butts, because that's where you're looking at.
In terms of design, we focused on the back of the character because players are always facing her when playing. That's what they see the most, so it's very important. We didn't know that a character's charisma is first measured by the perfection of their posterior. Jesus Christ, man, go touch grass. When I play a game, I want to see someone who is prettier than me. I don't want to see someone normal. I want to see an ideal.
Yeah, this is so true. As I was saying before, you don't want to see your neighbor in there. You see your neighbor every day already. Why do you want to see the people you're gonna take the bus with? You know, you want to see something nice. It's fiction. Come on.
It's important for entertainment, and after all, it is entertainment aimed at an adult audience.
What you say is heresy.
These are the unbelievable arguments. I wanted my video game protagonist to look good. How could you say something so brave yet so controversial? Like, this is sexist now? Well, shit. I don't want to be sexist and play this, so from now on, I'm only playing games with ugly protagonists.
Imagine! What even is this? Oddworld Munch's Odyssey. What? You know, he's saying that this is ugly. I know people that would be into this. I know it. Guys, there's an audience for anything. There are people that are into this. I am telling you that.
Like, they just made a hot protagonist and gave her a bunch of outfits. That's it. And for some, that's the issue. The unrealistic body standards that are detrimental to women who consume this sort of media. And we'll get into that later on. But I want to look at some good and bad examples of sex appeal in video games. You see, it's not whether you sexualize characters in a video game, it's how you do it. Games like Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk, Dragon Age Origins, KOTOR, and Mass Effect offer a diverse cast of male and female companions to simp for. And they all feel like real people. Their personality is not solely defined by how sexy they are. You can fuck bears in Baldur's Gate 3 and you can fuck aliens in Mass Effect. There's also options for same-sex romance, and you don't see too many people complaining about that. If you're gay or a little bi-curious or just want to see how those romances can play out, those options exist. They add diversity to a game, an RPG, in a very good way. You know, this old reliable clip is actually relevant to the discussion for once.
I wrote a blog post a while ago about why I f***ing hate video games, because this is what it does. It appeals to like the male fantasy.
Wait.
The true male fantasy. Come on, guys, like Stardew is the real true male fantasy, isn't it? Just having your own place, your own little farm, getting married, having a wife.
This isn't the right video. Here, hold on, I gotta switch to...
No, that is the right video.
Fuck it, keep it rolling. Oh my god, shirtless John Marston!
Hey, yo!
But Red Dead 2 is the perfect game to illustrate the power of diversity. And perhaps sex appeal. Because RDR2 appeals to the male and female gaze. Just as you can customize the outfits for Eve, you can do the same with Arthur. There are compilations of women thirsting over Arthur. And all I gotta say is, back off ladies, he's mine.
And then I also just weirdly really liked the, oh my god. Really, I'm so jealous of her. I'm so jealous.
One of our wonderful assistant directors, Gethin Aldous, he says, Raj, we gotta do those horse lines again. I was like,
horse lines?
And he said, well, it's a little too intimate. You know, it sounds like you're not talking to a horse. And I was like, what do you mean? And he played it back, and I was like, you're all right, girl.
And if I can thirst over Sadie Adler like a parched baboon...
Sadie Adler.
Then hell yeah, I hope women who play RDR2 can simp for Arthur Morgan. Again, it comes down to both of these characters feeling like real complex people that you can just inherently find attractive. It's called personality. There's no mystery behind good writing. It boils down to the developer's intentions and goals with their characters and their game. If you want to make a graphic visual novel kind of game, probably don't call it Sex with Hitler. That might be a good start. And there are egregious and what I would consider bad examples of sexualization in video games. Isabella from Dragon Age 2 is just this smelly pirate hooker. Like, that's mostly her character. Now, I'm biased because I'd rather eat goat diarrhea than play Dragon Age 2. But even then, Isabella still has more going on. She's mostly a smelly pirate hooker, but my issues with her character have more to do with the romance system. It isn't just writing. Bad sexualization can be tied to the game mechanics. You want to romance this character? Just hit the icon with the heart on it. You'll be contracting gonorrhea in no time. I don't mind the dialogue wheel on Mass Effect, but when it comes to gaining approval or influence with characters and romancing them in an RPG, I much prefer titles like KOTOR and Dragon Age Origins, because you have to figure out and pick the dialogue option that a character will respond to.
I like
you actually have to flirt and rizz them up.
You
know, maybe there was a Time Splitters Future Perfect joke that went a little too far.
You go first.
Okay.
But the over-sexualization in that game is part parody and part fan service. Personally, I have always found Ivy Valentine's design to be hilarious and over the top, and that has been a topic of debate for a long time. But her design is also iconic. She has earned a place in gaming culture. Some female characters are defined by their sex appeal, while others ride the line in between. Samus is hot, but she's also like a real person.
Wasn't there like a thing on the first, I don't know if it's the first Metroid game or the first few, where I don't know if that is true or if that was an urban legend, that if you managed to speed run the game, you would see Samus naked by the end, something like that. It is an urban legend, that wasn't true. But you can see how people were already thirsting over a few pixels. A few fully clothed pixels just because they got to know that that was a woman.
Kind of. Dead or Alive Extreme Volleyball takes sex appeal to an extreme level, and it's mostly a gimmick, but at the same time, the game was an impressive display of physics. On the other hand, you've got something like the new Fable trailer, which a lot of people reacted negatively to. They blasted the design of this female character, and, well, she does look pretty silly.
She looks a little silly. I think people would have
reacted a lot better to this trailer if they had taken the angle of, our protagonist is the antithesis of your typical hero, and she's thrust into the role of being a hero. But the trailer doesn't try to tell you that story. This character is just kind of ugly for no real reason. Like in Beautiful Joe, you play as a comic book movie nerd who gets sucked into the movie and has to become a hero, even though he's a fucking nerd. He's the antithesis.
That is cool,
that could have worked for Fable, but they don't really tell that story in the trailer. So it comes across like it's made to appeal to the body positivity crowd, and a lot of gamers just don't care for that. I don't think we've seen really bad examples of sexualization in video games in a long time. Custer's Revenge is what.
Oh, this is an Atari game, alright? That is fucking weird. Not this thing. I surely know about this one. I remember I used to play this as a kid. I just didn't understand it. Especially because it's all like so pixelized. And I just never understood the game. When I grew up, I heard about it. And I was like, wait.
One of those notoriously awful games, which... they hit the double whammy. They were racist and sexist, and they made the game that way deliberately to generate outrage and publicity. Some tactics never go out of style. Duke Nukem Forever is also an awful example because the game was terrible, wasn't worth the wait, and a lot of the jokes just weren't funny.
Power armor is for pussies.
Well, okay.
So it felt outdated.
Okay.
Worst example of sexualization, of course, goes to Ride to Hell Retribution.
What the hell
You kill a
is
group
that?
of dudes and then immediately start banging it with all your clothes on. Women are quite literally an objective in Ride to Hell. Man, that fucking game. But going back to the real issue, body positivity. Unrealistic body standards in video games, and by extension, all media. Multiple studies have shown that both women and men feel lower levels of self-esteem when consuming media where characters have that ideal body.
What was the article? Popular media has long been cited as a negative influence on body image and self-esteem by perpetuating unrealistic ideals of the human body. However, the influence of video games have remained largely unexamined despite their growing popularity as a media form, particularly among men. The purpose of this study was to investigate whether playing video games that emphasize an unrealistic male body ideal has a negative impact on male body image. Male participants were randomly assigned to play a highly realistic video game of either a muscular character or a character of average build. Men in the muscular condition reported significantly more negative attitudes about their body and greater attention to muscularity than men in the control condition, considering the widespread use of video games as well as the increasing muscularity of the ideal male body in popular culture. This finding could have important implications for the psychological well-being of male gamers who are regularly exposed to unrealistic body ideals in video games. Like, that's what we were saying before, like, there's quote-unquote unrealistic body ideals everywhere. It's in movies, it's on TV shows, it's on your regular, like, TV stuff, you know, like, you can't get rid of it. You have to learn how to deal with it. I know that you're gonna play a game where the main character is a fucking Giga Chad, and you're gonna be like, damn, I wish I was a Giga Chad like this. Like, of course, I play a game where I play as a fucking hot woman. I'm gonna be like, damn, I wish I was hot like this. Am I hot like that? I am not. I have to deal with it. If that's something that's really important to me, well, I'm gonna fucking work out and try to do what's in my reach to be hot like that, right? but you you have to do whatever, you know, to not become obsessed with it as well. It's all about your good mental being and whatever, guys. If you don't get influenced by here, you're gonna get influenced by TV, by movies, by music, by whatever. It's everywhere. It's on fucking... Have you ever seen perfume commercials? Why are people so fucking hot and almost naked in every fucking perfume commercial? You can get rid of this stuff anywhere. It's on like shops, it's on ads, it's everywhere. So there's no point in making video game characters look like you would look, like your neighbor would look. Because people that don't look like them are gonna be everywhere in the media already. That's just it. Such a dumb kind of argument, right? Oh, let's just have like average looking people everywhere then, because otherwise people are gonna feel sad. People are gonna feel sad about anything. Like, people will usually want what they don't have. Girls that have big boobs, they usually wish they had smaller boobs. Girls that have small boobs, they're usually gonna wish they had bigger boobs. You know, it's never enough for everyone, and I think that's just being human. That's just part of it. You just have to learn how to deal with it, you know. I think it's learning that normal people don't look like that and trying to separate fiction and reality. Yeah, exactly. Like, if you wanna get a girlfriend in real life and you want her to look like your gacha waifus, I have bad news for you. You just can't be Delulu. Most people are not gonna look like that. And if you meet someone that looks like that, you probably need to be on the same, like, level as well, you know? Insanely attractive people usually don't date people that are not insanely attractive as well. In short, don't be Delulu.
Feel lower levels of self-esteem when consuming media where characters have that ideal body. Now, you don't really need a study to tell you this, because if you're a dude and you've ever watched 300 and thought, damn, I'm a fat ass, well, then you're just like me. But you also probably don't think about what Gerard Butler went through to look that good. In the same way you probably don't think about how much time game developers spend on creating attractive characters. How much concept art and designs they have to create.
There's like a lot of work into that, you know? It's so tough. Like, a lot of times these people are making something that they think like looks amazing, and then you go there and go, this is unrealistic. This is too pretty. I don't like it.
But the problem with feeling insecure about your body image is an issue that nobody can fix but you. Feeling like your body type is being represented in media is a surface level solution that ignores the real issue. I think a lot of people who write these articles essentially complaining that characters are too sexy, I think that comes from a place of insecurity or just a grift. Every woman on the planet has struggled with her self-image, and to all the ladies watching...
Every woman and man, I really have doubts. Don't you guys look at a fucking Giga Chad sometimes and go, damn, I wish I was more of a Giga Chad kind of thing. You know, that's not a woman's issue exclusively. That's just like people.
This right now, you look great without makeup. And every man has struggled with his own physique and confidence.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty funny. There was this tweet. Microsoft urges developers not to create female characters with exaggerated body proportion.
What? But it's not even exaggerated. As I'm saying, these people don't know what exaggeration are. They need to read some doujins. Go to any doujin web place, type big, whatever, just big, and literally any body part after it, you're gonna see what exaggerated body proportions are.
And I replied, yes, of course, we wouldn't want any exaggerated body proportions on male characters. It might make us men feel insecure. And if you look at the replies, well, first off, this is the guy who was the art director.
Oh, damn. Okay, yep.
For Gears of War. Also, I recently reviewed the first Gears of War. You shouldn't watch that video at all. That's how reverse psychology works, right? Okay, sweet. But a lot of people in the replies were like, I aspire to be Marcus Phoenix. I live 7 days a week trying to look like Marcus Phoenix. Yeah, I must go to the gym more. I'm feeling a strange and sudden urge to hit the gym. The men in Gears of War aren't realistic, but the women are.
Yeah, bro.
That is clearly like
Are you serious? Yeah.
C cup or bigger. Looks like it was made by like a horny 15-year-old, and we're trying to be a little bit more mature than that.
What? Bro, that's not even, as I'm saying, these people have no clue what exaggerating proportions are. This is normal.
And this goes back to the, do they have realistic outfits or not? And I think Cliff is right. If this lady had huge knockers, it would just kind of distract from the war, you know? But seeing ideal beauty or attractiveness in media or video games, if it makes you feel insecure, you should use those feelings of insecurity to better yourself.
Exactly.
Go on a walk, eat healthier food. Ideally, that's what people would do, but that's not always the case.
Taking care of yourself is the best thing, guys.
If you're trying to condemn or criticize a piece of media because the characters are sexy and that made you feel bad about yourself, then that sounds like a you problem. I hope you work on that. Lord, grant me the strength to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. None of us can change that sex sells. It's a marketing tool. You can't get rid of it in media or business. So the best thing to do is become the best version of yourself. In my experience, actual sexism in video games happens in voice chat or mostly at the studios. And I think focusing too much on whether this character is too hot or not distracts from the conversations people should be having about how women are treated in the workplace and in the game industry. What's really obnoxious is when people try to Photoshop official character art to be more or less sexy to prove some kind of point. Is it just me or is this shit kind of weird?
Wait, what's this? You just made her bigger. I hate those kind of stuff. Like, people like the left exist, you know? Not everyone is slightly overweight. I feel like those things always consider that every single person in the planet is slightly overweight, which is not true. So like people expecting a fat superhero. Exactly. These characters, they're usually like moving a lot, right? You're probably not gonna be overweight if you're moving like these characters do. Now that wouldn't be realistic.
Weird. Like, hey, the marketing for GTA 5 would have been much better if the chick with the cell phone was fatter.
That's what the people want to see. Is there anything wrong with the right one? There is nothing wrong with it. But it's a fucking video game about being a thug and fucking getting some bitches on the street, isn't it? People want the left. There's no reason for you to get the... That's not even overweight. For you to not get the fucking supermodel at the beach, you know? Come on.
What? Why did you do this to Cortana?
What?
She's a fucking man-made AI. She's not a real person. Are some of these body types really that unrealistic?
They are not.
We live in a world of plastic surgery, for God's sake. Then there was Horizon Forbidden West, where there was like
even need a plastic surgery to be fat. You literally just have to exercise and eat less trash food. That's all it takes.
a couple shots in one of the trailers where Aloy looked a little chubby, and some people started freaking out about it. And they were like, well, what would she look like if she slathered a bunch of makeup on her face? I just think obsessing over this kind of stuff isn't healthy. If you're going to obsess over it, then do so in the gym. It's important to note that the problem with this whole debacle is not about Eve's design. The problem is quite simple. A game developer and thousands of internet users are bluntly describing Eve as an ideal woman, the only woman that men want to see. Also, labeling Eve as the only kind of woman men want to see is wrong on so many levels. Dudes will thirst over anything with a pair of tits. Despite having specific...
That is so true. Like, if you actually are delulu to the point of I do not want to see any woman in real life that do not look like that, then yeah, you need some fucking therapy. But that's a minority of people. I do believe that most people are not delulu like that.
Outlets for this content, and now needs to be injected into all media to cater solely to them. How is this any different from putting realistic body standards in video games to cater to a different crowd? It's not.
Yeah.
What? company make product because want money? Dove is
Absurd.
challenging narrow beauty stereotypes within the games industry with a new campaign that promotes avatars that look like real women. Again, you have to remember that these companies are fucking massive and they're making these decisions because they think it's going to increase revenue. You've got Stellar Blade, which is like, hey, let's lean a little bit into sex appeal to sell the game. And then you've got let's portray women in a normal way to sell the product. And both of these things are fine, but you can't pretend you're better than the opposite side if your end goal is the same. Money.
Exactly.
Now, some people are only going to care about what Stellar Blade represents in their ongoing culture war. But at the end of the day, what matters most to folk like me is if the game is awesome or bad. Is Eve going to be a flat, lifeless husk? Or an interesting character who just so happens to be a baddie with a gat that won't quit? In
Bless
conclusion,
the gat.
Rule 34 has been around for about 20 years. People are going to sexualize your game and your characters even if you don't. Sex appeal in gaming isn't inherently a problem, but there are pretty clear ways of doing it right and doing it wrong. Instead of wasting our energy discussing things that will never change, maybe we should focus on the design and fun factor of the game, if it's visually appealing, or God forbid how women are treated in the actual workplace in the game industry. The recent controversy around Eve and Stellar Blade isn't a new phenomenon. I think it's ridiculous to criticize it for shallow reasons like the character is too hot, it made me feel bad. And it's equally absurd to criticize a protagonist that isn't hot enough. Is the design good or not? Does the character have a reason to look like this? Sure, there are some instances of objectification and bad sexualization in video games, but in my experience, these are pretty rare. Unrealistic characters can affect the average Joe or Jill's self-esteem, but at the end of the day, you have to learn how to be happy with your own image. Nobody can do that for you. Your self-esteem is not the responsibility of some multi-billion-dollar corporation. Sex sells, and you can't fight that truth any more than you can fight gravity. That's the way it is. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Let me know who you think the sexiest video game character is in the comments below. All right, everyone, that's all I got for today. This is the Sexy Man signing out.
That is
Peace.
tough, guys. Who's your biggest waifu / husband?